All right, what is going on today, guys? I want to discuss something that is debated quite a bit, and that is, built versus bought. You're better off buying something that's already built. Are you better off, buying something that's completely stock and then building it yourself? What are, the best options to do? And I figured I would use both the vehicles that I have here because one was kind of built and the other one was kind of bought. So as you guys don't know, I bought this truck completely stock, 100%. There was nothing even done to it. And my Jeep over there, it was pretty much looks the way it looks now, besides like the bumpers. I added the bumpers on there and the roof rack, but the lift kit, the tires, I also added the rock sliders. So this is a little bit built, but for the most part, I kind of bought it done. The main stuff was already done on it. Now I guess we'll start with one of the first ones, is price. Obviously, when you buy something that's already built, you will save some money right up front. Now I don't want to say how much I paid for this Jeep, at least not in this video. I'm going to make another video and I'll tell you how much, the whole thing has cost. But, what's to say the lift kit that's on this Jeep is, was I think it was $2,700 or $2,800, the lift kit that's on here. And that is somewhere in the neighborhood of what I bought the Jeep for. So just the lift kit itself is essentially what I bought for this Jeep. As if I bought this Jeep stock, it probably would have been somewhere right around the same exact price, and I wouldn't have had a lift kit. So, there's some big savings right there. These tires, these are 35 by 12 and a half. If you look up these specific tires, the Pro Comp tires, they're actually pretty expensive. They're, I believe, right around like $250 a tire, $280 a tire, something like that. So these Pro Comp 35 12 and a halves are actually kind of expensive. Once again, I didn't even pay for those. They were already on here. So this Jeep hasn't really cost me too much, with the lift and stuff on it. Now the bumper, I had bought, the bumpers were $600 for the front and back. I bought the winch for like $300. So obviously, like, I have added money to it. Rock sliders were like $200 or $300, something like that. So I mean, I have added a lot of money on top of what I bought it for. But the core, the real expensive stuff was already done, and I essentially got it for free. Now, if you go over to the built, because I guess, this is nowhere near as built as my Jeep, but, I have done every single mod you see on this truck, I have done. So, the lift, I just have a little 2-inch leveling kit. That was actually pretty cheap. The leveling kit was only like $150. So that was really cheap. Didn't really spend a whole lot of money there. But where my biggest cost is coming in is the rims. This rim and tire setup, I believe it cost me like $2,200, which isn't bad for, a set of nice rims and tires. But that's, $2,200 extra on top of just buying this truck. Now, if I had bought this truck with this on it, these rims and tires on here, I really wouldn't have paid, that $2,000. I would have only maybe paid an extra $500 or maybe even $1,000 extra for the rims and tires. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been a lot cheaper if I just already bought it that way. Like the tint, I had a tint that cost me $100 for both sides, which is nothing. But once again, if I bought this with the tint on, I would have saved $100. So, I guess you have the pride in doing it. That's where I'm going to be leading into. But I guess you have the pride of doing it yourself. Like, I installed the lift kit, and I bought the rims and tires, and yeah, it's nice. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm glad that me and my dad installed the lift. Like, it's nice to know that, like, we did it, and I didn't mount the rims and tires, but You know, like I picked them out myself. I did the exact size that I want. It's not like it was something that I already got. As like the Jeep, you know, I don't know if I would have bought these tires. You know, I don't know if I would have gotten these rims. Like, it was just already on there, so that's just what I used. So, I mean, I guess in some ways it's nice to have, you know, to do everything yourself and have the pride in it. But in the same breath, you save a lot of money buying something that's already bought. You know, I've seen Cherokees that are like on 1 tons, 6-inch lift, or larger than that, like 40-inch tires. I mean, like, they're beat up, but they're like just made for the trails, and you know, they're like $4,000, but they have like $15,000 worth of work into it. You know, you're saving at the very least you're saving 10 grand. I mean, that's a lot of money to save. 10 grand is quite a bit. You can buy a lot of nice vehicles for 10 grand, even under 10 grand. So, I don't know. I'm not opposed to either. I'm not like oh, you know, he bought that, you know, what a chump, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not against someone buying something that's already done. And in fact, for my case with the Jeep, I'm actually really glad that I bought it built, because there's a lot of money into this that I saved, and a lot of the work I would not have been able to do myself. Like for the long arms here, you have to weld onto the frame. You know, I would have had to pay someone to weld in the long arms if I even got a long arm. On my other Jeep, I wanted long arms, but I never got them because they were too expensive. So I was like, I'll just, you know, I'll stick with a short arm. I never ended up buying a lift for it because I bought this and sold that. But, you know, I wanted a long arm, but it was too much. I was just going to do a short arm. As for this, you know, I had the long arm on here. I don't have to pay someone, you know, to install the lift. It was already done. You know, another cost I saved a lot of money, you know, is the front has a locker. I have a lunchbox locker up front. You know, to re-gear your axles and do a lunchbox locker, you're talking a decent amount of money. I saved a whole bunch of money not having to re-gear this and do a lunchbox locker. You know, so I've saved a lot of money just kind of buying this Jeep the way it is. And there's nothing wrong with buying a vehicle that's already done. As long as things were done like correctly, then it's fine. Like, I've seen like things that are like hacked up and beat up. You don't really want to buy a car that is like just completely been hacked up and destroyed. You want to get a car that's like, if it has been modified, it's been modified properly, and you know, even if you don't like the mods, you can take the mods off. In fact, my friend showed me a video one time about an S2000, and the video was like how I bought an S2000 for only like 10 grand or whatever it was. And this guy bought an S2000, I don't know the price that he bought it at, probably somewhere around like 20 grand or whatever. He bought like a heavily modified S2000. He took all the aftermarket parts off, everything, like the supercharger, if it had a turbo, we had either one, I don't remember. He just took all the performance stuff off. He literally just reverted it back to stock. And he, you know, he made $15,000, $10,000 off of selling all the stuff. So essentially he ended up only getting an S2000 for 5 grand. So there's like, now would you consider that like built? Because in a way, I mean, he reverse built it, you know, he converted it back to stock. So the whole like bought versus built thing is just ridiculous. If you're gonna buy a vehicle that's a good price and it has some mods done to it, just buy it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. In fact, I would actually almost rather buy a vehicle that has been modified to some extent. You know, like the only reason why I got this truck was because it was a pretty good deal. The person that was selling it was, you know, a friend that I'm friends with, so pretty trustworthy. You know, at the end of the day, that's why I bought this truck. I mainly bought it because it was a good price, but I didn't buy it because like, oh, it's stock, I need to buy a stock one. I just bought it because it was a decent price, and that's really what it comes down to. So, you know, it would have been nice having, don't get me wrong, like I would have actually enjoyed having like a really big, you know, truck, like, you know, a bigger turbo. And I've seen modified trucks that are, you know, going for like 10 grand, and they have a whole bunch of stuff done to it. And then I've seen stock trucks going for the same exact price, and they have nothing done. You got to pay. You have to pay all that money to even bring it to where that modified truck is at. So some mods you will get your money kind of back, or you won't, lose too much. As long as you do like tasteful mods, generally you'll kind of get your money back, or you'll lose a little bit. But some mods, some things you do, you're not going to get a single cent out of it. But it could enhance it by quite a bit. So I don't know, that's just my take on it. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you buy something built or bought. Just buy if it's a good deal, and don't let anyone tell you you're an idiot because you bought something that you didn't do it yourself. There's nothing wrong with buying something that's already done, or even if you want, buying the parts and have someone do it for you, because there's some things that I can't do, and there's some things that people just aren't capable of doing. I mean, that's just nature. But all right, that's it. I'm just rambling on at this point. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to try to make more videos. I've just been like super busy. I just really haven't had time to make any videos, so this is going to be it for now. I'll see what else. I have some other videos that I want to do. But all right, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.